All right, we return with our tweet of the day, which is brought to you by Tri-State Office Furniture. It goes to Adrian Wojnarowski, the man known as a Woj Bomb, and he comes up with this. TJ McConnell, the kid from Chartiers, boys, he really made a career for himself, has agreed to a 4-year, $35.2 million deal to stay with the Pacers. This is great, Chris, because it's a guy who started here locally, worked his butt off, was a shooting machine, worked hard with his father, went to Duquesne, then he gets to Arizona, Sean Miller, still no guarantees. He has to earn his way, and now look at this, $35 million for one of the best assist men in the NBA right now. In fact, turnover to assist ratio, I don't know where he is right now based on this year, but he has to be top 10.
I can tell you what he's the absolute best at in the league. It wasn't in terms of rate, although I suspect he was very close to the top. His 128 steals were the most in the NBA this year, period.
Wow. I didn't know he had that many.
9 or 10 steals and a half. He set that NBA record. Two things about TJ McConnell. I'm happy that he got this deal. It's awesome. I liked it when DeJuan Blair had his short-lived run in the NBA. I love seeing local kids do well. I love seeing Cam Johnson do well. I love seeing WPIAL talent go on to bigger and better things. TJ McConnell has known who he is as a player for a very long time, really starting at Duquesne and then going up through the NBA. He distributes the ball really well. And he's got about, 8.5 a game points-wise, 6.5 assists, about 4 boards this past year. So really solid numbers. You can win with a guy like that. The one thing I'll say about TJ, though, that I think he gets shortchanged on by about everybody is that, he's some sort of grinder or a guy that's not a great athlete. The NBA chews you up and spits you out unless you've got a pretty good thing going athletically, too. So I know he gets praised for everything else that he does well, but the guy is a pretty damn good athlete, and I think that needs to be said as well in here. And by the way, his teammates absolutely love him at every stop. You'll recall, Bob, because I know you're a big NBA head, that's why we're talking about this great story. LeBron wanted him in 2015 or 16 or his rookie year or second year when he was on the Sixers, because guys know that with a TJ McConnell out there, he'll D up his man and he'll distribute the ball to the open guy. And guess what? Whether you're in the NBA or overseas in Europe or playing parochial school basketball, teammates love a guy playing the point who does those two things.
Yeah, and he also has really developed his personality. He was kind of a shy kid. When I got to know him a lot, through his father and at Chartiers Valley, Duquesne, all of a sudden, he got to the NBA, he started feeling better about his way in the NBA and that he can actually do this. And I think now his personality is one of the best. They often mic him up at Indiana Pacers games, so that's great to see. All right, let's go to the lines. We'll begin tonight with JB in Squirrel Hill. Wants to talk about the new Pirates starter, Bryce Wilson, who made his debut tonight and did pretty well.
How are you?
Good, and you?
Good, thanks. Yeah, I love this pickup by Sherrington, and to me it really speaks to his understanding that, this Wilson, he pitched his best game in that NLCS game, which was by far the biggest game of his career. I think the guy's going to be an ace. He's clearly our best pitcher right now.
I wouldn't go that far. Maybe on this team as it's constructed, maybe, but I don't know. If he's your ace, you got more work to do.
I don't even know what to say. I'm gobsmacked. He could be a nice pickup. They've had a little bit of luck turning a Braves cast-off or a guy the Braves couldn't get the most out of as a starting pitcher into something better with Charlie Morton. Two things I noticed from Bryce Wilson tonight, though. No strikeouts, a couple of walks, and then he only threw 7 of 18 first-pitch strikes, I believe, in his outing. So what that tells me is not a ton of stuff, or at least tonight he didn't have a ton of stuff. You can't be an ace-level pitcher unless you can make batters miss and strike people out. So if he's only control and command, that's going to put an artificial ceiling, Bob, on what his future with the Pirates is. My hope would be that they can develop his off-speed stuff and fine-tune the command even more so that he can start missing bats, because that's the name of the game in Major League Baseball.
That's an excellent point. He didn't do that, but he knows how to pitch. You can see that, but you got to be able to punch out a guy once in a while, too, when you have that opportunity. Let's go to Matt in Pittsburgh. Matt, you're joining us right now on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Go ahead.
Good evening, gentlemen. Mr. Pompeani, the best-dressed man on TV in Pittsburgh. I was at
Here. My boys at Heinz Healy,
I've seen you a lot. I was at practice today, and first of all, Najee just had everybody get in so many wow moments. It was good to see Ben out there, but the thing that lit a fire up under me was watching Cam Hayward get into a nice little scrum with Kendrick Green. It was.
I thought it was Dan
beautiful.
Moore, maybe both. Dan Moore's a guy who's he's not been sitting back either. He hasn't.
It was Dan Moore. Whoever it was just great. I mean, I kind of inspired a lot of people around me because I'm a former defensive lineman, so that was just beautiful for me. But I hope the Steelers will have a great year. I hope that with the weakness that everyone thinks will be the O-line, that may come out to be their strength because what do they have to lose? Everything to gain. And thank you for taking my call. You guys have a great one. I think we'll be all right this year.
I hope so, Matt. It's going to take a lot, though, and every team has its issues. Every team. One thing I do know that I'm more concerned of now that I see, a guy like Chubb signing. We talked about this with Pony earlier tonight, Chris. You got to have some depth at inside linebacker tacklers. I hope Spillane turns into that because I'm not so sure with Bush kind of getting back early and probably taking his time. They're gonna need surefire tacklers. That's why when Vince Williams came back, I thought that was good. And then all of a sudden he's gone. Who else do they have in there? Pretty much unproven.
Not really anybody. I mean, that puts a lot of pressure on Devin Bush because he's quick in space. But I know everybody laughed at the signing. Oh, you're not supposed to give a running back a second contract. But I thought the Browns and Nick Chubb came to something that's as close to mutually beneficial as possible with the exact way that deal is structured.